Welcome everyone! I'm really excited to share this episode since I was invited to join Linda Bethea, the Chief Marketing Officer of Danone North America in their office here in New York. She's a leader who's helping the company navigate one of the biggest shifts in consumer behavior we've seen in decades. With GLP-1s changing how people shop, wellness rising to the top of American agenda, and younger generations seeking authentic, nutrient-rich brands that fit their lifestyle, Linda's role goes far beyond marketing. It's about anticipating what consumers will want next and making it accessible, engaging, and even fun. We'll talk about everything from protein and gut health to Coachella activations and coffee talk, and how Danone is adapting to meet consumers where they are today. Here's Paula Macaggi, and this is episode 86 of my show in partnership with Grocery Shop. Welcome to OFFBounds. Linda, thanks for having me here in your beautiful studio. Welcome to OFFBounds.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So I was so excited to come here because Danone really has been my life since I was a baby. I've tried so many products until today. I still have it as a daily product for me. For those, I think it's impossible for people not to know what Danone is. But how would you describe them?
Danone is not your typical food company. We are one of the largest B corporations in the world, which means we believe in leveraging business as a force for good. And for us, our mission is to deliver health through food to as many people as possible. And we do that through one of the most delicious and nutritious portfolios in the world, as you well know. We have a number of leading brands. We have Activia yogurt, which is a pioneer in gut health. We have Oikos, which is the #1 high-protein yogurt brand. We have Evian, which we have here for healthy hydration. Silk, which is the OG of plant-based beverages. Happy Family, which is offering foods and organic infant formula to families. And I could go on and on. It's a great portfolio of brands.
It is, and it serves all ages and generations, right?
Yes, all life stages.
Yeah. But you are the CMO of such a huge company. And I think the role of a CMO, especially for a company at this scale, is a lot more complex than just running campaigns and advertising.
Yes.
What implies your job really nowadays?
At the end of the day, I think the role of a CMO is to build brands that drive sustainable growth. Marketing needs to be a key growth lever for the company, and you can do that by building really strong brands that are salient, meaningful, and different to consumers. And so my role is to lead a team that builds those amazing brands. And then I partner really closely across our leadership team to make sure that we're fueling those brands with the right levels of investment, that we're measuring the return on the investment, and everything we do is in line with our strategy to achieve our company's objectives.
There's also, I think, almost science behind it. You also have to manage a lot of data, right? To understand who your consumers are. What are some trends that you're seeing in consumer behavior?
That's why I love marketing so much, because it is that blend of art and science. And now more than ever, we have access to so much consumer data. And so for us, we're very consumer centric. Everything starts with that key consumer insight. And what we're seeing now is that health and wellness is at a tipping point in America. Consumers are more concerned with health and nutrition than ever before. They're reading the ingredient labels on the packages. They're researching things online. We've seen searches for high protein through the roof over the past few years. Over 9 billion views of gut health content on TikTok. Consumers are seeking out that information and really considering what they're putting in their bodies and looking for healthier options. And Danone, as a portfolio of one of the most nutrient-dense food and beverage portfolios in the world, we are well positioned to take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely. I can even see me and my friends, our conversations are how many grams of sugar does he have? Suddenly we know everything that is in each product.
Yes, consumers have access to more information than ever before, but it's really important that we're able to break through and provide credible information to consumers, because that's one of the risks in today's world where you're bombarded with so many different messages. We have to make sure they're getting the right message at the right time, and it's credible nutrition information.
Yeah, these past weeks, we even had Serena Williams talking about how she's using GLP-1 drugs to help her with weight loss.
Yep.
And This seems to be a trend that is changing a lot of consumer behavior, right? As well, not just wellness, but weight loss.
Absolutely. We know that 1 in 4 Americans is on a weight loss journey, and 10% have tried a weight loss medication, a GLP-1. And so that completely changes the way they eat, right? They're consuming less, but it's harder for them to get the nutrients they need. And so that's a trend we've been watching very closely here at Danone. And we actually just launched first of its kind cultured dairy drink called Oikos Fusion that has a proprietary blend of whey, leucine, and vitamin D that shows that combination actually can help prevent muscle mass while taking a GLP-1 medication. Because we know that 20% of weight lost on those medications can be muscle mass. So we want to make sure consumers are preserving that muscle mass and getting the nutrients they need on their weight loss journeys.
We even have like some messaging there, right? Because a lot of people want to lose weight, but they are not aware of the effects of losing weight, or they just discover it late. So I guess like you have to also educate the consumers on what they're gonna need.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, again, there's a ton of information out there, but is it credible information? From our insights work, we know consumers search for things like, what do I eat while on a GLP-1 medication? How much should I eat while on a GLP-1 medication? But they're not getting that credible science-backed nutrition information they need. And so we see our role is not just providing a great portfolio of products that can support their weight loss journey, but information as well. And so we've launched a GLP-1 nutrition hub on our website.
Oh, wow.
That we've tapped into our registered dietitians and scientists to provide that science-backed information about the nutrition they need on their journey, help them understand the protein, the fiber, the healthy hydration that's really going to help them on that weight loss journey. We've given accessibility to some of our nutritionists through nutrition chats on our social channels, so consumers can actually engage with them and ask them firsthand the questions they may have about the nutrition they need while on a GLP-1 medication.
So it's almost like your journey and the journey of the company, but I imagine you as a CMO, like having to exchange these messages with the consumers. You're all working together to first have a product that supply these nutrients to everyone, and then give accessibility to information.
Yeah,
that's very excellent, actually.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And again, it all starts with the consumer. Being consumer-centric enables us to identify these trends and identify any pain points consumers might have. And so in this case, it was access to credible information about nutrition and access to the right food and beverages that they can consume while on this journey. And so that led us to the launch of Oikos Fusion as that drink that can really help them preserve the muscle mass on their journey, but also get the information they need about what other products, what hydration, what fiber, and what other nutrients they need to consume while on the medications.
I've been in weight loss journeys throughout my life. I think we all have, right? And I think like we always get to the point where you need supplementation, and that's very expensive, hard to find. You have just specific stores that offer it, but then like you actually bring it to the supermarket shelves. So you actually give access not only to the information on your website, but actually like easy access. You can just go to the corner and buy it.
Accessibility is really important to us. Again, I go back to our mission, which is to deliver health through food to as many people as possible. In order to reach as many people as possible, our products have to be accessible. And so we're always looking at what can we do to bring more nutrition to more people. So with the launch of Oikos Fusion, making that accessible in the grocery store, on the shelf is one way we do that. We look at e-com channels. We actually just launched a direct-to-consumer site for our Happy Baby organic infant formula. So for those parents in the middle of the night when they run out of formula and they're stressed out, they can just go online and order formula to be delivered directly to their home. That's another way to provide access. We do a lot of work with the supplemental nutrition program for women, infant, and children's to make sure that our products meet the requirements to be able to be purchased through that program. So it's all about making sure we have the most nutritious options in the most available places.
We're going to see each other at grocery shop, and we're going to hear a lot about retail media, campaigns, influencers. To give all this information to customers, what are some of the campaigns you've been working on?
So for us, it's about delivering the right message to the right person at the right time. And retail media absolutely plays a crucial role in that. We've actually been testing new types of retail media. So back to the launch of Oikos Fusion, we know that people on a weight loss journey often consult with a healthcare professional on their journey. And so we've been experimenting with Patient Point, which actually delivers digital advertising in healthcare provider offices. So you're there to consult with your doctor about weight loss, and you get served up information from Danone about products that may help you on that journey. So it's a really innovative way for us to leverage retail media to reach those consumers.
It's not really just going to the supermarket and see something on the shelf.
Exactly.
You're actually going to where they seek information first.
Exactly. Influencers play a key role. We leverage influencers across most of our brands in this space, specifically looking at influencers who are consumers on weight loss journeys themselves and healthcare professionals that, again, can provide that credible nutrition information to people.
And you've been to Coachella as well?
Yeah.
How did it work?
So for us, it's all about inserting our brands into culture in a relevant way. And so for our International Delight brand, that's all about bringing the party. And so we showed up at one of the best parties and music festivals with an activation that enabled consumers to really experience our brand in a fun new way. They got to play with the different flavors available across our International Delight portfolio, whether on our traditional creamer or our new cold foam creamer line. And they got to remix some different flavors within their drinks, because we know that younger consumers in particular are on TikTok all the time. They're on Coffee Talk, and they're looking for those new fun recipes to recreate coffee house drinks at home. And we can help them do that with our portfolio of International Delight.
And I think another consumer trend we are seeing, you probably have the data for that, but younger consumers, they're drinking a lot less. So imagine like in a festival like that, they are more worried about the nutrients that they're gonna get and not drinking actually. So that's a very smart activation.
Yes, and they're still looking for, really delicious, flavorful things. So International Delight, we also have our Stoke ready-to-drink coffee, which has been growing. It's another very on-trend segment for that younger consumer.
Talking about consumer generations, what are some insights that you have from Gen Zs to Gen X? Like, how are they consuming this portfolio of brands?
Yeah, I think for them, it's all about relevance and authenticity, right? They've had access to information at their fingertips, in their pocket, on their phone, their entire lives, right? And so it is really much a social first generation. And so we have shifted a significant portion of our media to social and influencer. We stood up a new social and influencer team within Danone that's really staying on the cutting edge. They're doing social listening to understand what trends exist on social and how we can insert our brands into those in a very relevant, authentic, and credible way.
Are there differences on like how my mom is gonna buy a product like Oikos or how I'm gonna buy? Like, you probably have these generational changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone today is digital and social, but there are differences in generations. And so we do a lot of consumer journey mapping, looking into the target consumer for each brand and how they discover information, whether it is through a social media platform like TikTok versus a more traditional ad or word of mouth. And we map out those journeys for our target consumers to build our marketing and media plans.
It must be very interesting to shadow you and your team for a few weeks and see how this work is done.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I have an incredible team of really talented, passionate people who love what they do and really focus on building the most loved brands in food and beverage.
Well, I'd like to come to your office more often.
You're welcome anytime.
It looks very delicious, as you can see. But the next time we're going to see each other is going to be in Vegas.
Yes.
And you're going to be on stage to really talk about the changing consumer behavior. More than what we're talking here. Why do you think it's so important for other professionals to join the event?
Yeah, Grocery Shop's a fantastic event because it brings together industry leaders and customers to shape the future of CPG, right? And so you can learn from all the folks on stage, really inspiring insights, best practices. I love to see what external companies are doing and lift and shift what's applicable to my business and brands. And it's also a great chance to meet with customers and the decision makers at those key customers that can have a true impact on your business.
Yeah, and especially, I don't know, so many new technologies emerging in this market, right? Like, it's so exciting to walk on the floor and see some innovators.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AI has been a key buzzword for the past 2 years, and we're absolutely leveraging that across our marketing. So really excited to see new advances there.
Absolutely. But your team is not just a team of marketers, right? Like you also have scientists, strategists, and that's like on your leadership aspect. How do you connect these sectors to one singular mission?
Yeah, I mean, it helps to have a very clear mission that we're all focused against. And it also helps to really hire people that have the will and the skill, right? They have the will to work together. They have the passion to bring our brands to life, in a way that delivers health through food to as many people as possible. And then they're really, really good at what they do. We have some of the best minds in the business across scientific affairs, our registered dietitians, our marketers, our brand leaders. And we work together because we have interdependencies. We know that we're going to be better together, and we have to work together to achieve those common outcomes.
Absolutely. Are there some specific skills that you look for when you're building a team?
Absolutely. I have what I call the 4 C's of leadership.
Okay.
So number 1 has to be curiosity. You have to be insanely curious about the consumer, right? Again, we're very consumer-centric. We put the consumer first in everything we do. So you have to be curious and always want to learn what's new, what's next, what does the consumer care about? And then you have to have courage. Marketing is not for the faint of heart, right? You see a lot of the headlines in our industry these days around marketing campaigns and marketers. I want people that have the courage to take risks, because that's where we're going to make the biggest difference. And we may not get it right all the time, and that's okay. I think you can learn just as much from failure as you can from success, and you'll be better next time. I also want people to have conviction. Right? We work in a matrix with lots of stakeholders. And so you have to have the conviction to stand behind your ideas and sell them into leadership. And then my 4th C is compassion. At the end of the day, we're people serving people. And so you have to have a real compassion for the people you work with and the people you serve in our communities.
Absolutely, especially in such an impressive brand that you actually work with the nutrition of so many people around the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're hopefully, improving health outcomes across the country.
And being a CMO, I think it's probably like the hardest role nowadays that I see. Like it's so many changes, so much happening. If somebody's aspiring to be a CMO one day, what would be your advice to this person?
It's a challenging role, but it's one of the most interesting roles because it is always changing. And so my advice would be...
You're never going to get bored.
Exactly. I never am. I mean, on any given day, I could be reviewing new packaging designs or on set shooting a Super Bowl commercial or heads down with my CFO in a spreadsheet looking at ROIs and outcomes. And so my piece of advice would be never stop learning. Right? If you think about the consumer landscape and the marketing landscape, they have changed drastically since I started my career. Social media didn't exist when I started my career as a marketer, and now I probably spend 50% of my day talking about social media. So you always have to be staying on the cutting edge of what's happening out in the world.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you just don't stay ahead, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That was like a super interesting conversation. I'm very excited to see you again in Vegas.
Yes.
I think we're going to dive deeper into the topic and learn more about your work, which is fantastic. If you ever need someone to shadow you for a day or two, you can invite us.
You're welcome anytime. I will have all your favorite Danone products available.
Oh, yes, please, please. It was a pleasure, Linda. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you in Vegas.
See you there.